Hello, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. Hopefully you're already a subscriber and you know that I'm going to approach this differently from what anyone else would ever do. Here's the topic. What to do when your husband is pushing you away. This is a tragic thing when you consider why you got married. You got married for happiness. Yes, you married your husband, you married your soulmate because you loved him, but really what was it all about? It was about happiness, and this is not happiness when your husband is pushing you away. It's humiliating, and it makes you feel lost and uncertain, confused, and this is what is wrong with most marriages. Most marriages fail. Even the ones that stay together are failures because they're not producing happiness. So we don't want to just deal with this one little thing. What to do when your husband is pushing you away. We want to take this further. We want to use this as a way of opening up the curtain so you can see more, not about just your marriage, but marriage in general, so you have an understanding. Now, if you've been already following us, you know that this is going to get deep. So buckle up. And if you haven't been following, subscribe so you get more and more of this until it really sinks in. Because this is the truth of marriage. This is the truth. Number one, marriage is a union, yes, but it's an individual spiritual path, because love is spiritual, that two soulmates take together, hand in hand. It's so beautiful. And when you have that connection, you're floating. But you're not floating now. He's pushing you away. Why? Is it you, the soulmate, the woman he fell in love with, who he's pushing away? Or is it the front of you, the part of you that is critical, that complains to him, that is mean to him, that is not open and loving and supportive? You see, we become victims not of our spouse, but of our mind, believe it or not. Our mind is a machine. It's like a computer. It's not us. We own our mind. When we talk about free will, the mind doesn't have free will. You as an individual have free will. It's a gift from God. It's not religious, it's just what you have. You have free will. But what have you been using it for within your marriage? To state your demands? Because that's pushing him away, you see. And now he's pushing you away. And he's going to push you away, you're going to push him away, and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. We've got to break that cycle. That's what to do, is to break the cycle. I even wrote a book called Breaking the Cycle. I used to be a divorce mediator. Over 20 years ago, I was a divorce mediator. Had a very lucrative practice in San Diego. Very lucrative place to have a practice. Lots of divorce there. And then I had a couple ask me, can you save our marriage? They went through marriage counseling. I had lots and lots of marriage counselor friends, and they would send me business, and I would make a lot of money, and I would take them out to dinner, and everyone was happy, except the couple. And at that time, I believed in divorce, which is where you're heading if you don't listen. Because what happens is the first killer of marriage is over-familiarity. It's where we start taking for granted that our spouse is just there. Their opinion doesn't matter. The good things about them don't matter. They just have to please us. That's what matters. That's the ego. That's the mind. You're not the mind. You're spiritual. You're the soul. Again, this is not religious. You're the soul. You have a body. You know that. That's easy, right? You're not the body. You're not your finger. Your finger is part of your body, and your body is part of you. It's a possession. Well, the same thing is true. We don't learn this, and we should. The mind is also a possession. But what's happened is, because of misunderstandings that have evolved, misunderstandings have evolved, and we have become victims of our habits, our emotions, our instinctive reactions, And we who have free will have thrown away our free will. Now, if you've been a subscriber, you may have heard this before. You want to be a subscriber to this channel so you learn. Now we're going to talk about, so go ahead and subscribe now. So we're going to talk about what to do. Number one, stop. Just stop. Just when you're about to criticize your husband, stop yourself. Stop the mind. Stop the thought that precedes the action of criticizing. You want to complain to your husband because blah, 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 blah. Stop. Just stop. You don't have to. You're not going to blow up. You're not going to burst. You're not going to drown. Just stop. It's your mind. Those thoughts belong to you. It's up to you what you do with them. Stop them. And then think about how wonderful a man your husband is. Think about his better qualities. And instead of letting come out of your mouth a complaint or a criticism, infuse your mind with appreciation for him and compliment him. Just do that one time as an experiment and watch what happens. And then don't stop doing that, because that's right behavior. So I've written a couple of books. They're great. You have all these videos. They're free. They're great. I have courses. They're very affordable, and they're better than great, because what happens is you learn how to master your mind, something we don't ever talk about in this world because it's not known. But it's an obligation, believe it or not. You know, as a soul, again, not religious, just spiritual, and we are spiritual, love is spiritual, we're the soul that's spiritual. We are endowed with joy. It is our true nature. Joy is unbelievable happiness that is endless. We are endowed with wisdom, the wisdom of God, because we're soul, not religious, just the truth. And most importantly, we are endowed with love. But it gets eclipsed by the emotions, by the fears, by the instinctive reactions, by the habitual reactions. And we have to gain control over the mind in order to start being ourselves again. And that's why people take our courses. Thousands and thousands, we've been around for a long time, thousands and thousands have taken the course. And you could look at what they've said about it. More than that, you could ask us any question you want. We have a page dedicated, it's called Ask a Counselor. And you will get to interact with a marriage foundation, marriage counselor, very professional, very knowledgeable, and you will progress. We want you to progress. We want you to have the kind of marriage that all of us have. We are floating in our marriages, and we are not unusual. For those who understand what we're doing, this is the norm. You are entitled. I hate people who think they're entitled, but I'm kidding. But you are entitled to happiness, entitled to love. Because it's gifts that God has given you. Who has the right, including yourself, to undermine that? But you got to learn how. It's so not taught in our world. Now we're starting to train people, mostly psychologists, to be honest with you, and a lot of clergy, and some people who really just want to start helping others. We're training them online to become TMF marriage counselors, the best marriage counselors there are. Look, we're here to help people with their marriages. Most of us are volunteers. I don't get paid by the Marriage Foundation. I don't own the Marriage Foundation. The Marriage Foundation is a nonprofit institution here to serve. It's an educational foundation which would give a hint about what it's all about. What you know will help you. And that's it. You don't have to suffer anymore. You can have it all. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. God bless you. Join us again and take care.